Hello, lovelies. This is Louise. It's been a while since I've posted videos. Lots of things have happened, and I am exploring a new way, so to speak, of reading that sort of refigurates my entire approach, and that is very interesting. So I've been silent for a while. Nevertheless, today I am here to show you this gem of a deck that I received yesterday. It is it's a deck made by Sullivan Hismans from Tarot Sheet Revival. And this is the guy that has made the Budapest Tarot and the Rosenwald Tarot. And what he does is absolutely astonishing. Now, he has done this Jean Dodali Tarot, and so far he's only released the hand-painted versions, and which is a very, very exclusive deck version. And this is not it. This is the so-called, what Sullivan calls the mass-produced deck that he will be launching in, I think, in May. So it's not up on his site yet. But I had the privilege to get it beforehand. For some reason. Well, I've been waiting, I don't know, a long time and for this deck since I realised in last year, at the end of last year, that he was going to do a Dodal Tarot. So I guess he wanted to sort of acknowledge that, and he sent me this early version that I am so grateful for. And he also sent me a hand-painted card himself. I guess, I don't know which deck if this is really from the deck that is now on his website for sale. I'm not sure. But anyways, this is hand-painted directly on this card, and it is beautiful. I don't know if you can tell, but if we sort of, twist it like this, you can see that it is sort of real paint, I was about to say. So it's not printed, and I mean, the colours are really astonishing. Oh wow. So this Chameur is going to be on my table for a long time. So anyways, this is the deck, and so it says Jean Dodali, and I don't know why we call it usually the Dodal Tarot, because also in the deck it's Dodali, so who knows. And it says FP L'Étranger. It means fait pour l'étrange ou l'étranger, and it means like made for the foreign, made for export. And it says tarotsheetrevival.com, which is his website. So this is carte de tarot, très fine ou très fin, feuillet, Morlavels, Marimont par Sullivan Hismans, quartier et graveur en 1919. Non, not 1900. Oui, non, 2019. Oh my goodness, my French is rusty. But this year is 2019, so it must be 2019. So we take off this band here, and we come to see the um, paper that the deck is wrapped in. And this paper has been also hand painted for me. I feel so privileged. Oh my goodness. So you see, wow. The yellow and the unicorn, which is so beautiful. The sun we have here on the one edge, and the other edge has the moon painted. Oh God! And the paper is lovely. It's thick and heavy, and you get this feeling that the deck really is protected within within the paper. And this paper, this way of wrapping the deck is the way that it's been done traditionally. And so here we come. You gotta see this. Sullivan Ismond did this one himself. Lino cut, I don't know how to pronounce it. Cut out of lino or lino. And then print it on the paper, and then paint it afterwards. And now we get to the insides. Yes. Here we go. Red band around the deck. And here, this is the front. Tarot Sheet Revival, Dodali. Now, let's take off this one and, ooh, let's have a look. I'm going to turn this one. I want to have a look at it. So, somebody's vacuum cleaning upstairs, I think. There's always something going on. I hope this is going to end soon, guys. Well. So, anyways. In the back of the deck, we see these two cards, and I got the number 3. So this is, yeah, the 3 out of the mass-produced edition. Wow, backs, and you will see the deck here. So the cards have been printed in a way that leaves the background, the white background, matte, and the colouring and the lines, the black lines, a bit more sort of shiny, not glossy, but just, you know, and that's such a cool effect. It's like, oh, it's exquisite. And so here we see we start with the coins, and we go here. You see here, fait à Lyon, made in Lyon, par Jean Dodali. And this deck was made somewhere between 1701 and 1715. So that's not that. It's not really precise, is it? And we, as far as I've done some research, and I still don't know who actually engraved it, because Jean Dodali is the card maker, the cartier, as far as I get it, and so probably not the engraver, le graveur. And so I can't tell you who engraved it. So 3 of, I hope you can see this, guys. 3 of coins, and the card came like this. Usually I would have it like this, so I am going to turn it around. 4 of coins. Now we have some color-wise. This color is not really blue. It's sort of greyish blue. We have the green of leaves of the flower here with the sort of greyish blue surrounding, and oh goodness. Okay, so the 10 of coins. And here we come to the Vallée de Digny. And again, the spelling is quite funny. Digny, which is rather different. The reason being maybe that this deck was made for export, probably to Italy. And therefore some of the words have been changed a little bit. And here again we have the stated the statement fait pour l'étrange. We have the beautiful. Knight of coins. And the Queen. Then I'm going to go closer here, guys, so you can see more details going on. Hang on, I'm just going to do this like that. Okay. So, King, and you know, the remarkable thing is those pink or rosy colours that are extremely charming. A king of coins with a rosy beard, isn't that great? So, and now Solomon included a couple of extra cards to choose from. So we have 2 aces of bâtons, and they're slightly different. The colour, the green colour is slightly different, the drawing slightly differs, and so this one over here is a little bit more orangey, and this one is a little bit more yellow. And I'm going to go for this one in the deck, keep this one because I adore the yellow colours of this deck. So bright and so extremely beautifully painted, and you can really tell that it was hand painted and not digitalized, or coloured with digital. By digital means batons. Gorgeous, just gorgeous. Cardstock is lovely, thick and steady. And here we reach the 10 of batons, and again we see the two cards in the Vallée of Batons. They're slightly different. There are certain, I mean, the face, of course, is different. It's the most obvious difference. And then the lines in the ground, or on the ground. And a beautiful knight. And again, statement of made for export. There's a lovely, lovely pinky horse. And the Queen of Batons. Oops, sorry guys. Isn't she just, I mean, she's about to explode, isn't she? Just all red in the face. Wow. and a king. So Sullivan Hesmond has stayed really true to the drawings, to the lines of not the drawings, but the lines of the original woodcut wood blocks, and then he has painted it, and also in the painting, the colouring staying quite close to the original deck or decks. There's one in British Museum and one in the French National Library. And here again, it's a little, it says Dodal, but then we have a little thingy there, and I don't know if that's an I or if that's just a full stop or what that's supposed to be. A little strange, don't know. And again, you see so there is an orangey colouring going on up here, and it just gives it this charm to see the unevenness of the way that it was painted and the cheerful way it was painted. It's lovely. And again, as you can tell here, the way there is a bit of a shine, only on the on what has been coloured and drawn. And should go a bit faster. I'm so slow. Going all into the details. Again, this beautiful, beautiful yellow colour. I mean, I'm sure that it does not show on the screen, but it's vibrant and it's like it's full of light and it's like it's crisp. It's so crisp. And then again, you have the more sort of orangey tones coming up here, and so delicious. 8 and then the 9. And the 10. And now here in the quartz we see some rosé colours again. Oh, sorry about that. Look at this beautiful headband or whatever it's called. I don't know the word or the term in English. Oh, so cute. Small red feet. Red shoes, sorry. Yeah. And here we go. It's gorgeous. Gorgeous. And again, this is one of the extra cards that Sullivan put in the deck for us to choose from. I hope that he'll be writing about that in the presentation of the mass-produced deck when it shows up on his website. It'll be interesting to know why he chose those extra cards to be in the deck and why exactly those, why the Ace of Swords, not the Two of Swords. Maybe he simply thought that they had equal value to him, and then we should have the chance to choose for ourselves, which is a nice gesture. Again, the first one that we see is a bit more orangey in the colouring, and this one a bit more yellow. So here are the swords. Oh yeah, and as far as I remember, we had this funny detail here in the one, you see, not in the other. We have this part of the sword which is a bit askewed, and that is also the reason why I'm going to keep that one. It's bright yellow and it has this funny little detail. I love that. 3. Oop, gee, and the 4. It's almost like a heart. So this is the first Dodal deck that I have, and I'm considering getting the Flor Noir publication as well, but right now I'm completely satisfied with this one. Yeah, and that's a funny thing, isn't it? Small dots there. It hasn't been filled, and this one came like that. I would usually do like that, right? But I might keep it like this, with the flower in the middle, hanging downwards. 7, the 8, lovely flower in the middle, and the 9. Look at that. Look at that tip of the sword. Isn't that just hilarious? I love it. like it's actually made of wood or something and it broke. I'd love to know if that was actually the original, in the original deck as well. Probably is. And lovely little Valley of Swords, and again stated as in all the other cavaliers or chevaliers, the horsemen, the knights, that it is made for export, which makes sense, being stated on the cards of movement, you know, and exploration of this of the strange, of the foreign. And a king. And here we come to the majors. With the trumps, we see a Le Fol and not Le Mat. He's been covered up a little bit, compared to the Noblet. And he's walking there, confident, with a really cool moustache or beard. And here we have another person who's also a little bit red or blushing. Le Battler. And as you can tell, our Papessa is here called La Panse. And I read theories in certain tarot communities that that this was changed because the deck was going to be exported, and probably to Italy, referring maybe to Pope Joan or something. Banse in French, as far as I understood, it was in French. That, of course, this is French, but in French, this also means belly, or it means womb, or what was it? Let me see my notes. What was it? Oh yeah, just simply stomach, for some reason. And you know, then another little thing is that I really like her little mark up there. You know, cheeky Papessa. So, Imperatrice, also a different way of spelling. We have our Emperor, as in the 4, and funny thing is this little crown here. I love that. And another theory is that this 4, because it doesn't say any, there are no other numbers in any of the cards, like this, and actually, apparently, there was an association or a society that had been established in the early stages of the Renaissance, and this society was established by all kinds of crafters, like, for instance, card makers. And so they had this union, some sort of union or society where they would have the apprentices and the valets, the little bit more dependent apprentices, and the masters to circulate. Not the masters, but the men or women who were being taught a certain craft, so that they could, circulate amongst the masters in France and become more skilled, which is quite cool. And the thing is that their sigil or their symbol was this number 4, and so the society was centered in Lyon, where this deck has been made, and therefore there are some hypotheses that that Dodal, Jean Dodal, and Jean-Pierre Dodal, his father, were connected to the society, which sounds not too bad and sounds quite valid. Yeah. Le Pape. L'amoureux, the lover, or the lovers. And yes, this is, I'm always reminded when I see this card that we are here seeing a type 1 kind of Marseille deck, although many decks cannot really that easily be replaced or placed within the either type 1 or 2. A lot of them mixes, etc., and it mixes the features. But one feature of the type 1 deck is this blindfolded Cupid, and the way it's the Cupid is turning, shooting the arrow without seeing. And the top of this of the chariot is also one feature of the type 1 deck. And so you see, I mean, if I could afford this other deck, I would definitely get that one as well. Colors are just live, so much more intense, of course, more vivid. But honestly, this is astonishing as well. But of course, the colors become more vivid when it is really hand painted on the cards directly. And here we have Justice and Hermit. So tall. And La Roue de Fortune, the wheel. This is beautifully made. I mean, this is, and Solomon stays quite close to the way that the original Dodal tarot was painted, color-wise, and also the way of painting it. Whereas in Fleur Noire, you see the more sort of, for example, those more round ones here would be totally filled out with red, whereas here Sullivan just painted them as sort of patches on the circles here, as they are as well in the original deck. And again, this pink and this purple that comes out when you mix the pink and the blue is just amazing. I hope the light is still with us, guys. It seems to be. And so the hanged one, le pendu, again spelled in quite a funny way, with an A instead of an E, le pendu. And so, as you can tell, this is the way it should be, you know, so sometimes he came like this actually in the deck. But I am going to turn him around with his funny fingers or whatever it is behind his shoulders. And no name on card number 13. Look at this guy down here, all blue in the face. And the Temperance, the bare-breasted Temperance, which is really cool. And the Devil, le Diable. When I saw this, I thought of a one-eyed rabbit, you know, it's really funny, this one up here. In the original deck, I believe that the breasts were, oh, there's only one breast here, that's quite cool, huh? The breasts were painted red in the original, I think, but not here. So it's not a facsimile, it's not like a complete, you know, copy of the original deck, and it is really Sullivan Hisman's own signature of the deck that we see here. It's his way of it's his interpretation, and that although the lines are very, very similar, he studied those decks. He had access to them, to the original decks, and studied them. Process took 2 years, which is impressive, isn't it? And a star, and a lovely little birdie there. The moon. And now, the thing is, with the moon card, you can tell down here, it says IP. And if you look at this deck and you compare it to the Jean Payen deck that was made in 1713, they are extremely similar. And one hypothesis is that that those two decks were, of course, connected and made by the same person, or at least the engraver was the same person, I would say, the graveur, and then the publishers might have been different, you know. So one last thing, you know, this way of I always see this as like bananas, like a banana skirt, but it isn't, of course. But this cape and the way of dressing of this person is also a very clear feature of the type 1 decks that we see in the tarot world. If we compare this one to the Payen, as I said, it's very, very similar. I have the Payen here, made by Yves Renaud. Can you see that? Is there any light left? I hope so. This is not a copy either. It's a republication. And if we compare, let's just do some of the mages because they're in order, so that's the most easy thing for me to just find here. You know, the lines are very similar, right? So we're not talking about facsimile decks here, but we are looking at reproduced decks. And the lines are very similar. you actually see, you can't see it, probably can't see it on the screen, but there are buttons all the way down here as well. And again, you see facial expressions, very similar on these two decks. So guys, this has been a long video, and I've just been so taken with all the details in this deck, and I hope that this has inspired you, and it'll be interesting to see when Sullivan is launching his deck on his website, the mass-produced deck, so to speak, which is a limited edition, I think, as well. So goodbye from me and Monsieur Ismans and Monsieur Lodali, and especially our lion and our unicorn here. Bloody cool. So, oh, not to mention our charming guy here. Anyways, guys, thank you, and I hope this was interesting for you. And take care, and ciao.